Today's society is becoming more and more disconnected from nature, and a lot of people have lost interest in the outdoors, whether it is gazing at the stars, hiking through the woods, or just stopping to take the time to admire many of the plants and animals that nature has to offer.
I think that's an eagle. Look at that. He's mad at that guy.
Luckily, there is a Nature and Science Learning Center that operates year-round in Ayden, North Carolina, fighting to prevent this disconnect.
This is my favorite place in Eastern Carolina. The woods here are beautiful, they're unmessed with, nature gets to run its own course here.
It's a great opportunity. It's probably one of the best areas in this local area and around the Greenville, Pitt County area to go out and just see the wilderness.
That's what we want kids to do, is to observe the world around them. And this is the perfect place to do that.
Our primary motto is experiencing nature, doing science, having fun.
There's a lot of activities. A lot of these events are a lot of fun. So they're fun, but you also get to learn things. And you'll see all kinds of stuff that you never even knew existed.
We've got all kinds of animals that you might get to see. Lots and lots of plants doing their own thing, and it's very beautiful.
Society is dependent on science and technology.
We have all of the sciences involved.
We also do programs in things like astronomy or even physics or chemistry. If it's science-oriented, we can do it.
Fire in the hole!
Woo!
Our secondary motto is to be part of the 21st century, we must make a time for science now.
John and Nancy Bray established A Time for Science in September 2009 as a nonprofit charitable organization. It operates cooperatively and in close association with the Pitt County Environmental Education Center at Catania Creek.
Nancy's work as a science teacher and my work helping her and background in science, we had thought about in our retirement doing some kind of a learning center for science. When we came out here and started to put some of the properties together for the easement, we thought this would be a very good combination, not only of the environment, which has been a passion of ours, but also the science learning, physical science, earth sciences, and a variety of different areas. And combined with the disconnect that we observed between our society and nature, especially with youth, as explained in Richard Louve's book, Last Child in the Woods, Saving Our Children from Nature's Deficit Disorder.
And I had seen what Richard Louve describes in his book happen because I taught for 40 years. And I saw kids who used to be outside all the time and have to be hauled in for dinner, and now you almost have to push them out of the house to get them outside. Richard Louve believes that the three biggest problems with kids today are a result of them not getting outside. One is obesity, one is depression, and the other is ADD. Nature deficit is the reason for that. So I just fell in love with that idea, and I wanted to do something to combat that.
That and the status of our science education in the eastern part of the state, we decided this would be a very good investment for us as a service and benefit to our community.
We walked around this place and we saw nature as it should be, and a place where kids could walk and families could walk and see nature as it is and not as a playground. That would help the situation.
A Time for Science utilizes their facility by offering activities such as camps, research opportunities, field trips, and numerous special events.
We work with all kinds of student and community groups.
They have done actual research. The AP environmental teacher brought her kids out here because we have 3 ponds out here that are very different, and yet they are very close to each other. So why they are different became their research kind of project. And they did a lot of water quality on them, trying to figure out why they're different.
We have Pioneering Technology Day in the fall, Space Astronomy Day in the spring. We have public activities quarterly. We have our star parties.
People they get to come out and look at the stars. There's a local astronomy club that brings a lot of real nice telescopes. Sometimes they, in conjunction with that, people get to build their own telescopes. They do things with sundials. They've had, at some events, they've had telescopes with filters on them so you can actually look at the sun during the day.
A Time for Science is an organization that works to increase the number of people who do science. This includes kids, adults, and anyone who would be interested in doing most kinds of science. We offer programs in chemistry, astronomy, biology, pretty much any scientific subject. And we gear it based on the needs of the individual or the organization.
We have a broad variety of things that we can do.
We've been known to help out with things like science fair projects. We do birthday parties that are science oriented. We have done programs for the Girl Scouts to help them earn badges. The Boy Scouts have used the facility as well. Church camps that are interested in doing nature walks, learning more about nature. Pretty much we can do about any program that's science oriented.
They do some charity events. They do programs on Earth Day.
We're not a walk-on museum type of an environment. We work with groups, and we have now totaled 400 acres of natural area and 7 or 8 different habitats here. It's just a more convenient place for Pitt County, Lenoir and Greene County areas to come for field trips or for activities.
Whatever interests the person is what we can do for them.
They have these camps now that they're doing in conjunction with Love the Sea Turtle.
They have done wonders as far as providing funding for camps that we present to the Boys and Girls Club.
To give Boys and Girls Club kids, who are kids that come from less well-off backgrounds than a lot of other kids in the area, that they get an opportunity to do things that they normally wouldn't be able to do. So they get to go to the seashore, they get to go see a sea turtle hospital, get to go come and kayak on the creek on the property here, get a chance to have hands-on experience doing science, seeing science, and get to come experience things that they normally wouldn't be able to.
Last year we had 2 camps. This coming summer we'll be presenting 6 camps throughout the Boys and Girls Clubs in Pitt County.
Another popular event that A Time for Science hosts are the nature walks, led by their nature interpreter, Leah Cannell.
She just loves snakes and lizards and skinks and salamanders, and she knows where to find them.
When I do a nature walk, I try to notice as many things going on in the environment as I can. So as I walk, I tell people about the animals and plants that we see here at A Time for Science, how they interact with each other. To the best of my ability, I give them as much information as I can about their environment.
We have not had a group of kids out here that she has not found a creature that they absolutely love.
Because the people who come here live in eastern North Carolina, and many of them know absolutely nothing about what's right outside in their backyard. And I do my best to kind of give them, a working knowledge of the organisms that are around, how they live together, and any interesting fact that, stored somewhere in my brain that I can give them about the stuff that we find. So usually we end up finding at least a couple of cool things, some bugs, if I'm lucky, a snake.
And in that, we discovered that snakes are a natural thing for kids to be afraid of. However, she will go, if it's safe, she will pick one up. And we discovered that fear is overcome by curiosity, because by the time she's through, every kid that's in the group has come up and touched it and is no longer afraid.
Usually some lizards, maybe a salamander or 2, and then there's always birds flying around, and there's always lots of plants to look at around here, some very unique organisms that are found in eastern Carolina.
Awesome!
Isn't that slick?
It's wonderful. She's terrific.
If you are interested in volunteer work, A Time for Science has many ways for groups and individuals to lend a helping hand.
We absolutely depend on volunteers, and we can truthfully say that our youngest volunteer out here was 5 years old, and we have volunteers who are in their 80s that help us out here. We could not do half the things that we do without our volunteers.
I started volunteering a lot at A Time for Science, helping out with just different things, helping clear the place after the hurricane.
One good example is right behind me. If you can see the damage done by Hurricane Irene this past fall or late summer. We had so much tree damage that we would never have gotten our trails open if it had not been for our volunteers. We had a big group of biology students from ECU come over with their chainsaws, and in a day's time, we got done what would have taken us a year to accomplish. This garden is a good example. This is our demonstration organic garden, and because of it, we had a lot of people interested in gardening. And when the Ayden Boys and Girls Club opened their new building, they didn't have any landscaping, so a bunch of us got together and asked if they would like us to do some kind of gardening with the kids. And that started a whole project where communities became involved, and this is where our volunteers come from. It involved community effort, and that is what we really depend on. So much of the stuff that we do depends on that.
Helping just to sell t-shirts, man booths and things during things like the Sea Turtle Run, and helping a little bit with the nature walks.
We use our volunteers and we really enjoy them. This past week we did Kids Fest, and we had a number of volunteers from ECU's volunteer service, and they were fantastic. They worked, we all worked for 5 hours and saw, I think we could say about 400 people came through our area, and they had a ball with the stuff that the kids were doing. Our volunteers are excellent.
Even with A Time for Science's wonderful facility, 400 acres of land, and many activities, John and Nancy Bray are excited about their new and upcoming projects.
We're excited about just gaining occupancy to our new center here. It's a little empty right now, but we'll be furnishing it soon, and hope to be conducting a lot of our activities in here. We're just very excited about it, and look forward to it being a real contribution to our program here. We hope to even be able to conduct some classes through Pitt Community College as a possible future application.
One of the areas that we're working hard to get into, we've written a couple of grants, is now that we have several acres of agricultural land, we would like to develop a partnership with the ag science programs in Pitt County so that we have places where the students can actually have acres to work.
So close your laptop and turn off your TV and go outside to enjoy the outdoors and learn more about your local environment at a place where there is always a time for science. If you are interested in any A Time for Science events or want to help contribute, please visit our website at www.atimeforscience.org. Call us at 252-746-4470 or send us an email at atfs@atimeforscience.org.